Damn, you ever have one of those days where you just know the universe is setting you up for a fight you didn't even ask for? Because that was me, back in third grade, about 8 years ago. I wish I could say I walked in with swagger, maybe cracked a joke or two, but nah, it wasn't like that at all. See, I had mild Asperger's, and nobody even knew it at the time, not even me, just that I was the weird kid, always a little off, always too honest or too slow, and boy, did that make me a target. We just moved into what was supposed to be a better neighborhood, where people actually mow their lawns and smile at you, and my mom thought this was our big break. New school, fresh start, and she actually knew the teacher, Mr. Miller. He's my friend's brother, she told everyone. He's great with kids who need a little extra help. Yeah, right. You ever hear the phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions? I was about to live that, step by painful step. First day in Mr. Miller's class, he singled me out. Can't you even write properly? He snapped while I struggled to keep up, and the whole class watched, eyes wide, waiting to see if the new girl would crack. Writing was always the hardest for me, and it's like he knew, like he could smell weakness. He started assigning me these long writing projects just to see me sweat, and every time I fell behind, he'd smirk and mutter something about Miss Smarty Pants to the rest of the class, like my struggles were a joke just for them. Kids pick up on that stuff real quick. Pretty soon, they were pushing me around at recess, calling me baby when I'd break and cry, grabbing my backpack and tossing it out the window. Only William stood by me, this wiry little kid with a chip on his shoulder and the heart of a lion. But one friend wasn't enough against the whole class. And I kept quiet, because that's what you do when you're the weird kid, and you don't want to give anyone more reason to hate you. Besides, I'd seen what happened the last time Mom got involved. She'd caught them beating on me once and raised hell, got a bunch of kids suspended and their parents called in. So I just took it, and they knew they could get away with it. Then one day, the tension changed, like a storm rolling in. The kids who'd been suspended started hanging out with Mr. Miller in the corner, shooting me dirty looks. He called everyone to his desk except me, and I watched as William's face went pale. I should have known something was up. At lunch, they closed in. Somebody shouted, "Let's see if the freak can fly," and I swear my heart stopped. They dragged me toward the fourth-floor window. I saw nothing but sky and concrete. Then, just as my feet left the ground, William barreled through the crowd, grabbed me, yelled at everyone to stop. The other kids ran off, tattling to Mr. Miller that William ruined their fun, and from that day, William was a target too. While all that was going down, Mr. Miller slipped out and went straight to Miss Cooper, the school counselor. Honestly, if I had to pick someone to play the Wicked Witch in a movie, it'd be her. She called my mom in a panic, saying I tried to jump out the window. "Your daughter's in danger," she lied, voice dripping with concern. My mom dropped everything, flew to school, and I got hauled into the office to explain. They didn't believe a word I said. "She's making up stories again," Miss Cooper said, like I was invisible. "Classic attention-seeking behavior," Mr. Miller added. But William spoke up, voice shaking. "They're lying. I saw everything. Mr. Miller told them to do it." My mom's face changed, quiet but deadly. "I will end your careers," she said, and I knew she meant it. But I begged her not to make things worse. She didn't listen, thank God. She started documenting everything. Bruises, stories, even statements from William. That next year was pure hell, not even going to sugarcoat it. The bullying ramped up, but William stuck by me, even when the other kids started calling him crazy too. He started failing classes, not because he was dumb, but because he was too busy looking out for me. I told him he didn't have to, and he just shrugged. "Yes, I do," he said. "Friends stick together." The last straw was some dumb assignment. Write a letter to your teacher about how you feel. I wanted to show I didn't hate Mr. Miller, so I drew this big poster with "I love you, my teacher." Mr. Miller lost his mind, ran to Miss Cooper's office, screaming I was trying to ruin his marriage, that I was disrupting his class. My mom arrived, ice cold. "Why are you trying to expel my daughter?" she asked. "She's always disrupting my class. Don't forget her suicide attempt," Mr. Miller said. "Oh, you mean the one you made up?" Mom shot back. "I have proof of everything you've done." They laughed it off until we walked into the principal's office, and my mom pulled out her phone, called someone at the Ministry of Education, laid out the whole thing, promised to send the evidence. The look on their faces when the news came in. Teaching licenses revoked, careers over. I'll never forget it. I got moved to another class, and for once, things were calm. William and I were still friends. Now, let me tell you about what happened with my property, because if you think school drama is wild, try going up against a homeowners association that thinks they own the world. My place sits on the edge of the neighborhood, couple acres of woods behind it, sloping down to a creek. Been in the family since the 80s, and I inherited it when my folks retired. Never joined the HOA, never wanted to, because my house is technically outside their boundary. I just minded my business, until one morning I spotted surveyors stomping through my backyard. 3 guys with clipboards, staking my land like they were planting a flag on the moon. I step outside, coffee in hand, trying to keep it polite. "Can I help you?" I say, but the head guy, Jim, just shrugs me off. "We're here for the HOA, surveying the land for a walking trail." I say, "You're on private property. I'm not in your HOA." He sighs, acts like I'm being difficult. "The HOA president says this is community land." I'm not about to get into it with clipboard warriors, so I call the cops. Officer Martinez shows up, cool as you like, reviews my deed and survey, and tells the surveyors to leave. No paperwork, no access. I figure that's the end. Next day, my doorbell rings, and there she is, Diane, HOA president, looking like she's ready to sue me for breathing her air. "We're putting a walking trail in for the community," she says, all sweet. I show her my papers. "This is my land." Not interested. She gets frosty, threatens lawyers. So, I hire a real estate attorney, send a cease and desist to the HOA, and put up no trespassing signs. You'd think that would be enough, but a week later I get a certified letter from the HOA lawyer, claiming some clause in their bylaws makes me part of their fiefdom. My attorney just laughs. They can't touch you. 2 days later, the surveyors are back, this time with Diane and her minions. I call 911. Officer Martinez returns, takes one look, and orders them off the property again. Now, my attorney goes nuclear. We file for a restraining order, and a judge grants it. The HOA is legally barred from setting foot on my land. But Diane's not done. She sues me, says there's an easement from the 1970s. The case goes to court, and the HOA's lawyer tries to bluff their way through, waving subdivision maps and talking about community benefit. My attorney picks them apart, deed by deed, photo by photo. The judge sides with me, dismisses the suit, and, best of all, orders the HOA to pay my legal fees. Nearly $8,000. I walk out of that courtroom feeling like I just scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Neighbors start apologizing, say they never wanted the trail, never voted for the lawsuit, and 6 months later, Diane gets booted out as HOA president. The new board apologizes, offers an olive branch. I let them build a bench and bird feeder at the edge of the creek. My call, my rules. I'm actually kind of glad now, watching folks chat and birds gather where the whole mess started. Learned a thing or two about standing your ground, about having your paperwork in order. Not every HOA story ends like this, but mine did. For now. And listen, after all that, if you take nothing else from this, let it be this. Sometimes the people in power, teachers, HOA presidents, whoever, think they're untouchable, that the little guy's just supposed to roll over. But you fight back, you keep receipts, you find your William, and you don't let them scare you off your own turf. You know what I mean? But hey, maybe you've had a run-in with a bully or tangled with a neighbor who thought they were king. So what's your story? Where do you stand on justice, on fighting for what's yours, on holding the line? Drop your thoughts down below. Let's get the real talk started.